Cypress Development Corp's flagship lithium project is located just east of Albemarle's Silver Peak mine in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. A 12-hole exploration drill program for lithium-enriched claystone on Cypress's 100% controlled properties is now underway. Cypress Development Corp trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the Pink CYDVF, and on Frankfurt C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Chris Vermeulen from TheTechnicalTraders.com. Welcome back to the show, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jim.
What does energy look like it wants to do right now?
Well, energy has been on a run here for the last few weeks, and we can start off with natural gas. Natural gas has had a stellar 3 weeks back to back. We've had a little bottoming formation that took place a couple of weeks ago, and then suddenly we had a huge move to the upside. This was about 3 weeks ago, breaking out above some new highs, and this week we're seeing it really start to move sharply higher. It hit our 310 target that we were predicting about a month ago when it was trying to find a bottom there. And the next stop at this point, we're looking at around 340. It's currently at 316 right now. So there is a lot of power behind the natural gas move. And I think you and I have talked about it a couple times. When you zoom way out to the monthly picture and go back about 2 years or so, there's a beautiful formation that is just starting to break out. And it signals a very significant move to the upside for natural gas, potentially a move we haven't seen in a long time. We could see it reach almost $5, which is a high we saw back in 2014. So there's huge potential. Natural gas just starting to break out of this big bull flag that has formed since 2016.
Do you think that could be one of the reasons why Shell and PetroChina have agreed to build a $40 billion facility in Kitimat, BC to pressurize natural gas and ship it to Asia?
It makes perfect sense. Natural gas, to me, is undervalued, and there's huge potential markup overseas, and that whole side of the business, I think, is really just about to start. Obviously, get some more tankers, get the facilities to do it, and I think it's a booming business idea. So they're primed and ready. They're getting into position at the right time, probably signing some big contracts while natural gas is low, knowing that it'll eventually, I think, come up to more of a fair market value, and people will be re-signing on. I think it'll be huge potential. So I'm sure those guys look forward in time and can expect higher prices for natural gas.
Of course, too, that means a natural gas pipeline for northern BC to get. BC apparently has a 200-year potential natural gas field already. So good news for the BC gas fields.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great opportunity. Natural gas is such a nice, clean energy.
What do you say to the critics? I mean, it's going to be replacing coal, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I would hope so. Coal's as dirty as it gets, pretty much. So it would be nice if it could. So yeah, I'm not too sure about the whole coal thing and what critics are saying about it. We're looking at a lot of vehicles into natural gas. So I think we're moving towards cleaner energy. So I can't really see coal stepping up. I think it's going to be natural gas, solar, wind is kind of going to be the direction for, hopefully, or at least North America. That's the main direction.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, Recycling Trade Publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp, MGI and the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected several high-grade gold intersections, including 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. Additional drill targets on the LH property have been identified by a 2018 drone airborne magnetic survey to further evaluate a pyrrhotite-enriched gold-bearing system. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, the U.S. dollar and gold going up on the same day, is that rare?
It is rare, but it does happen more times than not. We saw that take place yesterday. On Monday, we saw the dollar move higher. We saw precious metals move higher. And today, again, same thing, another big up day in the dollar. Precious metals rocketing higher again today. And I think globally, we see this happen sometimes where the dollar and gold can move up for many months together. And they might not be a huge move in general, but we can see them trend in the same direction. And we see this happen more often when the whole world is feeling threatened. And to me, the real safe havens are the U.S. dollar and precious metals. And when other currencies are falling through the floor and there's potential of all kinds of financial crisis brewing, it makes you want to move to the strongest currency and the strongest country, and then it makes you want to own physical metals, so you've got something on the complete opposite end of that type of currency spectrum and investment, out of stocks and all that. So we're seeing them move up again. When they start to move together, you got to wonder what's brewing. There could be some type of bigger underlying news that we don't know yet. The markets seem to lead news in a lot of ways that we don't expect, but it does. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out.
The Dow hitting another record high. Is it being fueled by money fleeing the emerging markets and also Europe? We are seeing a lot of money move out of the emerging markets. We're seeing a lot of money even move out of small cap stocks, and the Dow is kind of, it's the big blue chips. So I think we're just seeing a lot of money in general move to the big brand names, the safe haven of stocks. To me, that's the Dow, and move out of the more speculative and weaker countries. So, the Russell is selling off quickly. We've seen the emerging markets; they're all moving lower. China, a lot of countries are moving sharply lower. So, when people get worried, they go to what they know, what they're comfortable with, and that's the Dow stocks. So that's what I think is really kind of helping those move higher. Bitcoin, what's it doing?
Well, Bitcoin's got a really interesting chart pattern. It's in a very big pennant formation. It's coiling, which means price range keeps narrowing and it's getting squeezed into the apex of a triangle. And what it's doing is when something trades sideways, it builds energy. I call it coiling. And when it breaks out of that pattern, either to the upside or the downside, you get a very, very strong move. And when you look at the weekly chart of Bitcoin, even the monthly chart of Bitcoin, we've got a pretty significant pattern here. At this point, it still looks bearish, but it really doesn't matter which way it breaks out. When it breaks, you either want to if it breaks to the upside, you should be getting long. If it breaks to the downside, you should be getting short. And it could be a 1 to 3 week price move that could be very significant. Bitcoin right now is trading at $6,500. If it breaks to the downside, I can see it hitting $4,000 very quickly within a week or two. It will be a big flush to the downside. If it breaks to the upside, I think it'll pop very quickly and hit $8,000. And then from there, I think it might struggle a little bit. Markets typically fall a lot faster than they rise, and fear is a much stronger power in the markets than greed is. So that's why there's more downside potential. And I think the $6,000 mark, it was hit back in February of this year, and people are kind of holding their breath. They're like, well, it hit 6,000 back in February. If it can just stay above there, I'll be okay. So if we get this breakdown from where we are right now, we're just above 6,000. I think that break will be the big flush that really sends most people giving up on digital currencies. They'll be like, I'm done. I just lost 95% of my investment. I'm out of it. I think that will be the big plunge in the shakeup. And then I think a bottom will get put into place. That's what you need. You need to break everyone's heart and soul before something bottoms out. And that's what that's what Bitcoin, I hope, does, simply because it gives an awesome opportunity to the upside. and also to the downside when it falls, but you just don't want to be on the wrong side of it.
If Bitcoin's the big brother of them all, what happens to the smaller ones?
Well, the smaller ones will pretty much follow suit. To me, the Bitcoin is like the SP 500, the Dow. What the broad market does, most of the sectors or the small stocks or the small digital currencies, for this matter, will follow suit. And of course, they're thinly traded. They have probably larger spreads, which means they fall faster. They also rise faster. So they're going to follow suit. Bitcoin is the tide, and most of the currencies will rise and fall with the tide. So any currency you have will be hit if Bitcoin breaks to the downside. But also, if Bitcoin breaks to the upside, we're going to see currencies, I think, skyrocket and start another rally.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Arctic Star Exploration, operated by a team of proven mine finders, is focused on diamonds in Finland and the Northwest Territories of Canada. Work programs are underway in Finland and Canada. Arctic Star trades on the TSX Venture Exchange symbol ADD, on Frankfurt symbol 82A1, and the OTCQB symbol ASDZF. Please visit our website arcticstar.ca or call us at 604-689-1799.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, what's happening on the Asian markets?
Yeah, the Asian markets they've been in a downtrend for quite a while, and they're starting to show signs that they're trying to put in a bottom. And just last week, we've got elections coming, and there's talk of all kinds of the tariff stuff, which has been a big part of, I think, why the Chinese stocks have been hit so hard. Obviously, increase in tariffs is hard on those companies, the stocks, sales, and we just have a feeling that more or less with the elections coming, there's going to be probably some tariff changes, maybe some improvements that will be good for China, or at least delay things further. And, China a couple of weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, started to show signs that it was reversing, putting in a bottom. And we got long the Chinese sector with a 3 times ETF, the yin ETF, and it had a beautiful pop, just waiting for some news to come out. And at this point, it's consolidating, and I have a feeling we're going to continue to see the Chinese market hold up here, and there's a very good chance it could have a nice pop to the upside for a couple of weeks as we go into the election season. I think the tariff stuff might fall to the back burner or get toned down, which is a positive for these stocks.
Chris, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Hey, always a pleasure, Jim. Thanks for having me on the show.
My guest has been Chris Vermeulen from thetechnicaltraders.com. You're listening to HowStreet.com radio. Find us on Twitter at HowStreet. Any questions for the show can be sent to info@HowStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.